So, actually,
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
There you go.
what's up?
Look at that beautiful monitor.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And
Look
then
at this. I'm all plugged into everything. See, there are trees growing
you've
outside of my office.
You've got a Park View corner office. Oh man,
Whoa.
Is there anywhere for you to go? Can you even go further up? It's just, I think you've peaked in life.
I mean, there are floors above me.
I guess we'll see if anybody else jumps in soon.
I will say, by the nature of this floor being on the ground, it has a strange layout where there's one bathroom instead of multiple ones. Makes things a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what that's like. All too well.
So because you're on the ground level, you only get one bathroom?
Yeah, I know that makes a lot of sense, right? Like the building is like a donut shape and the whole inside is an atrium. And we're below that floor. So we have one bathroom, but we have like 10 times the number of offices. So like it gets a little Wild West in there.
So in
floor number equals number of bathrooms.
It's the IT gulag.
Yeah, so in true IT fashion, you're in the basement.
Yeah. I mean, I'm above grade. That's cool.
Oh, what's up, Brian?
Hey, not too much. How are you?
Oh, doing just fine. Just fine.
Tommy, how are you doing? I'll take that as a well.
I guess so.
Before we kick off,
he's in the chat. Tommy's in the chat.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I was just gonna say before the meeting kicks off, there was one request from I forget
management,
who made it, but I think Kavya. Yes, management. There you go. That's just the all the working group meetings start just kind of like taking notes about what's discussed.
Can do.
So
been wanting to do that for the past like 4 months, but falling a little short on that one. Guess I can do a little better job at it.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, what's going on, everyone? Catalina having fun. PSA, don't install 2019 2.1, except I know Shay and I have it in production everywhere, so whoops.
Unless you're running enterprise or current or custom returners, I think you're fine. That was the big kind of whoops with that version, that release. Was like specifically like with if you were using the enterprise product, SaltStack Enterprise, or you happen to be using like any of the custom returners, which was any of the ones we ship.
I'm using custom returners.
Are you? Okay. And
Yeah.
It works?
It seems like
it. But you're not using Python 3?
No, he is.
Oh.
How dare you?
I don't know.
Maybe they're not working. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, but are you using... I should just stop while I'm ahead and stop making assumptions. But are you doing masterless?
Yes.
Okay, that might be it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out masterless is also significantly easier to test too. just update the box and off you go. But
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I guess Brian, you're no longer gonna make it to SaltConf. Does that mean it's just me outside of
I think so.
actual Salt folks? Oh, so sad. Did you tell your manager I told you to let you go?
Like you should be fired?
Yeah, I got one of the emails from that that was like, hey, make sure all your slides are done by like October 31st. And I'm like, wait, isn't the conference in like late November? That means I probably wouldn't start my slides until like mid-November. Like, well, what's this proactive stuff you're talking about? Oh boy. But let's see here.
Well, that makes me think that I should be expecting one of those too.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen.
Yep, that's what I didn't respond, but I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Especially since that like 1 week of that is me taking a week off for my birthday. So like, yeah, not even gonna bother with that. But I mean, is there any other major things that popped up? I know I'm sure most of us have been messing with Catalina or Garrett's part, dealing with 2019.2.1 things. So probably pretty busy the past couple of weeks for everyone.
Other than the ones that were reported early on, did you guys find any showstoppers with 2019 that you don't want? I mean, obviously not your. It sounds like you're using it.
Yeah.
So.
No, for it seems to work just fine for us. I haven't had any issues.
Okay. Any issues with Catalina? We haven't rolled it out yet in our automated tests yet, but that's kind of on the roadmap soonish.
So the one issue that we were talking about beforehand around like the whole multi-processing and like Pi Objective-C stuff, Apple fixed that in like beta 9.
Okay.
So all of that panicking was not needed.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So yeah, no, there was like 0 code changes required. The only thing that is actually broken is the software update thing. But Shay has a PR open for that. Shay, I think you probably need to rebase that against master, since there's now a one branch thing.
Probably.
Is that the?
That was my next question. Like, if you guys have any thoughts on that. I know, Wes, I think you had a meeting with Kavya, just kind of laying it out.
Yeah, we talked about
any
it.
Thoughts?
I thought it was great. A more consistent release structure, and the only thing I asked was that the community, if there is like a, hey, we're gonna like cut a release at this commit or something like that, to let us know when that might happen. So if we do have like a change that we want to get in real quick, that we can, versus finding out like, oh, we'll have to wait another month or two for that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that one of the things that's kind of been consistent in the messaging that we've been saying is like the 4-month release cadence or 4-month release cycle. But I keep telling people like our hope and kind of the things that we've been discussing internally is I'd really love us I'd really love it if we could get to the point where we are releasing whenever, like we get to like it's Tuesday afternoon and all the tests are green and we think, hey, this is a good time, let's cut it, there's a release.
No, I like that.
I mean, I think it's still a ways to go, and this is a good first step. But yeah, that's good feedback. Just to let the community know like when we hope to have a release now.
Yeah, I think we're probably a little bit of a snowflake in the manner that I think pretty much everyone here has a automated like import of the latest version and like deploy of it, and it's masterless, so it's like super easy to test right on a few boxes.
Right.
So I think we're all okay with like more frequent releases. I know I am. I'm like, give me the goodies. I want the fixes, even though nothing's
Right.
probably broken, but that kind of stuff. I'd imagine. Brian, are you in production yet, or are you guys still just testing it out?
No, we're going to roll out to testers pretty soon. And I don't auto package salt, actually. It's the one thing I don't auto package.
Oh, well, it's super easy to do, buddy.
Yep, I know. I just don't want it auto updating because it's kind of the one thing.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, man, I spent like multiple hours trying to get that auto package recipe to work. You're just not going to use it? Breaking my heart, dude.
Not yet.
It supports Python 2 and Python 3.
Unlike python.org.
Yeah, this is true. Alrighty. Well, does anybody have anything they want to bring up, or what's going on? I know the next couple of weeks is going to be pretty busy for me, and then hopefully closer towards the holidays, I'll get some free time to actually work on some salt stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're mostly just doing the Catalina update, so
yeah,
I haven't really gotten much chance. I mean, that whole song and dance about the, trying to set the disable keep alive on running minions and then restart the minions and work around all that in the betas.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
Ended up to be like quite a fraction of my hair loss, I think.
Yep. Well, Apple. It's all the goodies.
I don't care as long as it works.
Oh, well, I guess I will bring up one thing. I had a pretty interesting idea, and I'll probably actually write it today. Is like some services that you're probably managing may require like a full disk access from like an MDM profile. So what I'm gonna write is a state that will watch to see if particular profiles are installed, and if like via an MDM, if they're changed, then bounce all the services for that particular profile, so the the changes actually take effect. I thought that might be pretty interesting and useful.
Is that the deal? Like the MDM pushes out the whatever that is. Is it PPPC or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. TCC, PTTC, TDPCP.
PCP.
Yeah, one of those things.
And so they don't actually take effect until the machine restarts, or
restarts
so
until the service restarts. Yeah, apparently. So for instance, like if you're using a security tool that you want to bounce, you could do it that way. I think it should be pretty easy because I'm just gonna have Salt keep track of what profiles are installed, and if they change, like you can set which identifier to watch, and if that profile changes, then it'll bounce the services. Should be pretty easy. I'll just add it into the profile state.
Are you coming across? Yes. Sorry, I was about to change the subject slightly. But yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, sure.
I'm just wondering, like, are you coming across a lot of stuff that's failing because it's not notarized?
No, not at all. If you deploy that through a root
Not meaning,
agent,
like,
it shouldn't
anything.
matter. I mean, I've definitely seen stuff that I've manually downloaded and tried to open, and it wouldn't let me open it until I right-click on it and hit open, just like a package
Yeah.
in
I mean,
Gatekeeper.
the only stuff I've seen so far has been like, you know, like homebrew packages that one guy had. But everything else seems to have been fine.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I think that's primarily for people that just randomly download arbitrary shit from the internet and then put it in their, applications folder or whatever and try and run it.
Yeah, I'm surprised to discover that I don't have any issues from our favorite vendors, Symantec and Cisco, for example.
Well, you're installing all those things with Monkey, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be
So
fine.
it's just stripping it.
Well, I think it's whenever you download it from a source, like through a browser, then it puts that
Okay.
that extended attribute on it.
Well, maybe that's the thing I missed is so Monkey's able to just remove the quarantine with no further.
Well,
I mean, I thought Catalina's still going to check the notarization.
No, If you
I thought
do
that
it from
was-
like a root agent, then I don't think so.
See, but I thought that was for. Like, yeah, okay, installer package, great. But what about like, okay, it installs a bunch of software that I thought Catalina was going to check on every run for everything.
I don't know. I haven't seen any problems.
I know, I haven't either. That's why I'm like.
Well, I mean, if you're
oof.
doing it through Monkey, I don't think you're going to.
Are you guys talking about notarization?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's only on install. It's not going to be on every run.
Yeah, I thought it was to run code. It was every launch.
No, like I said, I think that extended attribute or whatever only gets applied to that item whenever you download it through like a web browser.
I'll double check that. I mean, because I know that they slackened the restrictions for this release, and we were talking to an Apple engineer this morning who was like, basically said, they had to divert resources to iOS 13 at the last second, and so they probably didn't even finish what they intended to finish with Catalina, and I think Catalina wasn't even intended to, they've said, like, this is the plan. We're going to allow this for some period. I'll double check it. I'm trying to not just put my head in the sand.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any issues with that. Looks like Chris showed up. Welcome, Chris. Glad to have you. I think it's been a pretty slow couple of weeks. Well, slow for most folks, dude. Everyone just dealing with like Catalina shenanigans. That's pretty much all we've covered in lovely notarization. But I don't know. Anybody got anything? If not, I guess we can get some time back. At least that's what we like to say around here.
The only thing that I had requested last time was if it was possible to sign the Python 3 binary, but I don't know if that's a dot release thing or not.
Well, judging by a Garrett can correct me if I'm wrong, that there isn't going to be this like bug fixes and new features thing anymore, like releases. They're just going to happen whenever they get merged in. Am I wrong?
So we're still going to have bug fix releases, but so we're not going to have branches. We're gonna base them all off tags. So there will still be bug fix releases. So like if you follow kind of what we've been doing with 2019.2.1, our 2019.2.2 is based off of that branch. And then if we do a 2019.2.3, it'll be based off that branch or tag or whatever. And then once we move into kind of the new way of doing things, when we do a release, whatever the next release is, I think the number scheme that we kind of settled on so far is start with 3,000. So we'll have like a 3,000 release and then a 3,000 tag, and then future like bug fixes. If there's bug fixes, if there's like a 3,000.1, it would be based off of that tag. My understanding.
Yeah, what was the whole? I didn't read the SEP. What was the idea behind the 3,000 tagging? Was that just nobody knows?
Why 3,000?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I think someone just like we wanted to basically move away from date based.
Oh, okay. Sure.
The date-based versioning. So it's like, it's a good round number, well off in the future. Nice big number.
You sending us some lovely news and updates article, Shay Craig?
Yeah, that's just the Apple. Basically, the reason why everything's working is because Apple pushed it back to January of 2020.
Oh.
Does it check it every time or just once though?
My understanding is that it checks every time. I'm looking at Tom Bridges' blog real quick. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's where I first heard that.
Okay, so I guess we should notarize Salt.
I mean,
Does that mean it puts a extended attribute back on after the application quits? I mean,
I think it doesn't care about I think my understanding is that the notarization you can staple to the application and then you're set, or Gatekeeper's going to go and check Apple's endpoint for that to see if there's a ticket available. So if you have somebody who doesn't have an internet connection, then they're not going to be able to run it.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to notarize the things. That's fine.
Just every one of the things, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Ideally, we shouldn't have to notarize them. The developer should be submitting them to Apple to get notarized. But then we just have to make sure that the ticket is stapled to the installer or the app.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that we'll have to notarize Salt. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah. I know. I'd love to be like, oh, that's weird. Microsoft Office just doesn't work.
Yeah, too bad. That's a bummer. Okay, so we'll just have to notarize the installer package. Because you can notarize macOS apps, non-app bundles such as kernel extensions. Does that include like binaries.
Yeah, I don't know. That's right. Is it signed already?
The package is signed, yeah, but it's not notarized.
The binary, I mean.
So this link that I dumped in there says when the user first installs or runs your software, the presence of a ticket either online or attached to the executable tells Gatekeeper that Apple notarized the software. So that tells me that it's the first time and not every time. But
Yeah.
I'm guessing that Apple probably checks the hash or whatever, and if that's changed, maybe it doesn't run at all. You know, if you try to change the binary on disk and then hope the notarization holds, it's not valid anymore if the checksum is different.
Yeah, I guess I can look into this a little bit more. But lovely. Yeah, I mean we can sign and notarize all the salt things if we need to. Shouldn't be too hard.
I'll dig around and I'll message you guys about that because I remember only vaguely, and I thought Tom had said that it's actually going to check on a regular basis or like every time. Which, you know, if it still hashes the same, like if it hasn't changed, I don't see why you would need to do that. But I'm no expert. And I think it may also be that like this is how it works right now. Oh, nice, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, it might be this is how it works right now, and at some point in the future, it's going to be like more strict.
Yeah. Lovely. Good times, everyone. Alrighty. Anybody else got anything?
Nope.
I'm good. Shay's good. Brian?
Yeah, good.
Good. Oh, well, Garrett, let us know when you start. Wait, literally supposed to get off by then. Yes, hey, that's my Q4 OKR. How'd you know?
Well, lucky guess.
It actually is. But yeah. Oh yeah, Garrett, let us know when you start upgrading those Mac Stadium boxes to Catalina to run those tests. Curious to see what happens.
Yeah, it should be soon. We're actually this is a good question for you guys. I don't know if we've already done it, but we're considering dropping automated tests for the Sierra release since now that Catalina's out. I don't know if.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I wouldn't imagine you guys are still using Sierra, but kind of what's the feeling around that? Yes, no, good idea, bad idea?
I mean, if I was you, I would do N-1, but I guess that's not.
Oh, so Catalina and Mojave?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only supporting those two.
And I'll probably.
I want to say that we're kind of basing it off of this was at least this was my suggestion, basing it off of what Apple is currently supporting, and I think they technically are still supporting High Sierra for at least another year. And Sierra ends at the end of this month, at least from security updates.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious if they actually are doing that.
Yeah,
but it won't be any. Like those won't be any major. Yeah, those are just like minor code changes to fix vulns, right? Those aren't like any new features or anything like that. So everything should continue to work, is my assumption. But yeah, no, I think we're more of an N-1 shop.
Okay. Yeah,
But-
like I said, I think what we're probably ultimately going to be doing is probably once we get the once we get Catalina in place, it'll be Catalina, Mojave, and High Sierra.
That sounds reasonable to me. If it's not a lot of work to like make sure High Sierra is going.
Not at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude. Like seriously, once again, awesome work on all that stuff. It's nice to see all those green little check boxes on the Mac tests.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw. I think you saw it, Wes.
Yeah, the cake.
Because you comment on it. Yeah, the cake.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
cake. Our whole team, or the open team, was we had a team get together out in Salt Lake, Salt Stack headquarters, and our VP got us a cake that showed us our Jenkins build. And my absolute favorite part was like all the Mac tests were all like little sunshines.
Yeah.
Had been green for so long.
So
Nice.
good. I loved it. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, it was good.
Sweet. Well, everyone, guess we can let you get a little bit of time back.
Woohoo!
I'm going to go, break things because that's what I do.
Nice.
But, well, I guess.
Looks like you can go start
Chris-
installing Catalina supplemental update.
Wait, did that seriously?
Yeah, it just came out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're right. Oh, my God. Oh, God damn it, Apple. And it's still just 10:15. The build number is just higher, though. Oh, that is just ridiculous. Yeah, that came out 20 minutes ago. Oh, jeez. Lovely.
So there you go. You get to take
Yeah.
that extra time now.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, everybody. Oh no, what I was going to say, Chris, do you have anything before we, and Tommy, before we bounce out of here for the chat-based crew, which looks like Brian has moved over full time?
I just didn't want to interrupt. I was listening.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. All right. No from Tommy either. Cool. Well, good chat, everyone. Stay warm out there. It's getting close to wintertime, I guess, right?
not here.
Yeah. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
All right, cool.
Catch you later.
Thanks, Wes.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.